A new piece of leather and my Zoom H6. Let's get started. So essentially I started with these two pieces here. I've got that plain rectangle for the back panel and then the one with the angle cutouts for the front panel. I wet the leather and then did some minor tooling, created a textured background, and stamped Zoom H6 right at the bottom of the case. Once it's under dye, you can see how the background on this sticks out a little bit better. Let's get these two pieces sewn together. So you can see the type of stitch that I'm using here. It's a simple cross style baseball stitch, and this will hold these two pieces together as we put the rest of the details on the outside of the case before we completely seal it up. I cut out another rectangular piece here that's going to serve as the closing flap, and I also cut out some little tabs so that we can attach those D-rings. We'll get those pieces under dye and then I will show you where they're all going to go. To create a little bit of contrast, I went with golden brown dye for these pieces of the project. I think it's going to look just right. I sewed that top flap on there with a couple straight line saddle stitches. And then I came up with the idea of putting a strap here on the side for the microphone cord. Let me go ahead and get this dyed up and then we'll get this attached. On the other side here, I came up with an idea of creating a loop to hold the microphone itself. Now I will go ahead and get this piece and that strap piece dyed up and attached to the main body of the case. So there you can see I have the microphone holder riveted to the side of the case. That same color of dye that I'm using for the D-ring holders. And on this side, I put the strap for the microphone cable itself. I just riveted that on there and then used the snap to hold that in place. I think that's going to work out pretty good. Let's keep moving. In the top center on the back here, you can see where I attached that tab with a larger D-ring. 2 rivets, going to hold that in place. And this D-ring will be for if I want this to hang from a single point off of a belt. On these side tabs here, I attached smaller D-rings, and these will be for if I actually want to add a shoulder strap to this at a later date. I also attached these 2 tabs here at the top that will fold over onto the inside of the pouch, and that'll just keep anything from falling out once it's put inside. Here you can see how I started up this side. Again, very simple cross baseball style stitch. We'll close up this side next, and there you have it. Basically, this pouch is just about done. If you haven't noticed already, I'm going for a kind of rough, primitive, almost medieval look to this case to contrast with the technology that's going to be inside of it. I just got to put a snap on the front there, take a quick look down inside. That H6 will fit perfect. We're just about done with this thing. So there you have it. We have the bottom part of the snap set in place. The top hole is going to line up perfectly. Now I just have to reach in the drawer and find just the right snap to set this thing off. So I decided on the steampunk style skull there. Let's take a look at the back of the case here. It's all finished up, waxed. There's that side strap. I might have to put a retaining little ring on that. There's the side that's going to hold the microphone. And again, this will go to a belt strap that I'm still working on. I'm going to add that here in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and open her up. Put the recorder inside. Perfect fit. There we go. And you can see the standard microphone slips right down on this side here. I'll be able to push that down into place and then put the cable for it on the other side. There we go. Sits nicely under that ring. I'll take this thing out into a little bit better light and you can take a couple final looks at it. So here's the final project. You can see that I did add that retaining ring right there on the strap there for the microphone cable. Right now it's just hanging from a cheap shoulder strap that I have. And you can see the microphone on that side. Here's the belt loop that I made for it. Basic belt frog design. And there's the case itself. And here's how it hangs from a belt if I'm wearing it in this configuration. So there it is. That's a very basic case for the Zoom H6. If it needs to be portable for some type of podcast recording or something like that. I hope this video gave you some ideas of how you could make your own case, and if it did, well, you know I'd appreciate that thumbs up like, and maybe, just maybe, I'll see you on the next video. If you enjoy videos about the randomness of our amazing world, consider clicking on the globe to subscribe, or maybe checking out one of the other videos right here.